Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Tuesday afternoon. It is a hot afternoon out here, y'all. Hopefully, you can hear me okay over the truck running with the air conditioner on. I'm done trying to warn people or trying to at least even drop hints. I'm not doing it. I'm done with it. I think in my mind I've been done with it, but lately I've still dropped a few hints here and there, and I think we should stop that. No matter who it is, friend, family, foe, coworker, you name it, person at church, all of them. Stop. Just stop it. Because I think at this point, it could be actually detrimental to continue to try to warn them, and I'll explain that more here in a moment. First, I also have a very good passage that I will share with you towards the end of this video that is very encouraging, that you will enjoy, I do believe. Also, I saw this story before I came on earlier. I think I saw this on the Daily Mail. But it was talking about the explosion of colorectal cancer cases all over, really. I think this one focused more on North America in general, United States, Canada, but especially among the young people. And this focused on a doctor who was doing a lot of research and trying to figure out the cause of this. Again, they focused on people who were younger than 50 years of age at the time that they were diagnosed. This is colon cancer. People as young as in their 20s and 30s. The cases are increasing. It's unreal, especially here recently. Now, this article claimed that this has been a trend since the 1990s. Now, I don't know about that. I'm a little skeptical of that part, but they did say that they believe that this trend will continue and double by the year 2030. The cases of colon cancer by 2030. That's crazy. And many doctors are calling it a quote-unquote epidemic. Some of the things that they cited were junk food, as far as what they believe is contributing to this, is poor diet, lack of sleep, junk food, alcohol or drinking habits, plastics, microplastics, toxins in the food, the hormones that are in the food supply, low vitamin D, which I thought was interesting. I could buy that one. I could buy low vitamin D as part of it, the reason. I could buy the toxins in the food supply, hormones, poor diet, stress is cited as well. Now, I believe that the elephant in the room that was left out, we know what that is. I'm not going to mention it here, but I believe there's another cause for it. That's my personal belief. I have no scientific proof of it, but that's just my belief. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay. Share your thoughts on that nugget. But it's a shame. I mean, young people getting that, and they're aggressive. Usually it's aggressive cancers. I mean, it's a shame. It's a tragedy. Stop. Just stop. And it's hard for me to say stop warning people, because that's not in my nature. It's like on some level, it feels like I'm saying stop trying to help people. But that's what I'm saying, as far as wanting them to prepare. Because the way I look at it, if they haven't started, or if they're not paying attention, or still choose to be asleep, and they haven't started to awaken yet, I don't think they will, or when they do, it will be long past the point of actually trying to prepare. So it'll be way too late. At this point, I think it's a waste of energy to try to do that. I've trailed off on that. That means anybody, family members, friends, people at church, people that you just come into contact with, anyone. Now, if they're interested, if they become interested, if before they were like, dog, no, everything's fine, nothing's ever going to change, nothing ever does, things are going back to normal, that kind of stuff. Now, if they change from that and say, hey, dog, and I've had this happen, not a lot, but I've had this happen, like, hey, dog, it does look like things are going to change. The price of everything just continues to go up. I think we're in trouble, and the government does not have our best interest at heart, and it's going to get worse. So if they voice anything like that, then it's a totally different ball game at that point. Then I'm like, oh, really? Well, tell me more. Share more. What are your concerns? Well, these are the things that we're doing. Now, again, even with that, you have to be careful on who this is. Are they just probing you? If this is somebody you don't know well, I would still play it kind of cool. Don't reveal a lot of stuff, okay? You could stay surface level until you learn more about them, okay? Now, trusted person, family member, okay? It's a little different. At that point, yes, I would talk with them about it and just at least start with the basics, of preparedness. Start on some level. At this point, I believe that people who are not awake or don't profess to be awake or that are not doing anything at all about it, or haven't done anything at all about it, I think it's one of two things. I think, number one, they either do realize that they should be preparing and realize that not all is well, and they just they realize it, but they choose this conscious decision to keep their head below the sand and ignore it. Like, I don't want to hear about it, it's just going to go away. And then the other part of it is kind of like that. The second reason maybe is kind of related to that, is that they think it's just going to return to normal. These are just some bad years we're going through, y'all. Dog, it's going to go back to normal. Prices are going to come back down. The car market's going to crash next month. The housing's going to come back to normal next month, 6 months from now. Grocery price is going to come back. The gas price is going to go back to where they were. I'm like, do you really believe that? Do you really? And some really do believe that. I mean, Miss Dawg and I were talking about this, and I've heard it, and she's heard it with coworkers. It's like, not necessarily coworkers, but kind of like people that are around. You just overhear conversations at work, community, church, wherever. Yes, at church too. The conversations are, they just figure this is a temporary thing. It's transitory. It's long-term transitory, or it might change. It's all going to go back to normal in November if we have a change at the top. You know what I mean? No, I don't think it's going to change. Even if there is a change in November, December, you know what I mean? I still think we're in trouble, depending on what happens. I believe it's almost a detriment. I think it's risky to still warn people, because at this point, if you're even laying hints, I think people that are not in your camp or that are not like-minded, are going to think a couple of different things about you. That you're a conspiracy theorist, that you are the enemy. Now, they might not let on about it. They'll smile, maybe joke, maybe even agree with you a little bit. So we have to be very, very careful about that. Okay? They may even ask you some questions. Oh, what do you do? What you got? What you got? What you stock up on? You don't have to go that deep with them. You can talk about preparedness, but not reveal stuff. Not reveal vital information. However, like I said, at this point, I think it's a bit risky, way risky, to go into it now. I would just not go there. In the past, where I overheard a conversation, depending on who it is, I might jump in there a little bit, just kind of plant a seed, just plant a seed. Like, you should think about getting a little extra, or maybe perhaps, talking about inflation, like buy a little extra now while it's on sale, put it in the freezer, save up a little bit. I'm not even doing that now. I'm not doing that. I'm not even doing that now. Don't identify yourself as a preparedness person, especially to those around you in person that know where you live. If you even have a speck of doubt about trust, they're going to label you. Conspiracy theorist, hoarder, you name it. Oh, you're one of them. You're one of them. Crazy, they call you crazy, all kind of stuff. That's a good one. That's a common one. You hear what he was talking about? They may even blame you for what's going on. The media does that, and it's just convinced a lot of people. It's brainwashed people into thinking that you are part of the problem. You are part of the problem. Yeah. So, that's my thoughts. Share your thoughts. Are you still engaging with this talk with the non-like-minded? Not me, not us. No, sir, no, ma'am. I will share the gospel. I will share the passages with anybody who's willing to lend an ear, though. I will do that. Like this one. This is from John, the book of John, chapter 12. No, the book of John, chapter 8, verse 12 says, Jesus spoke to them again, I am the light of the world. Anyone who follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Amen. The light of life. Dark is as light to him. Jesus is Lord. He was talking to the disciples and just telling them straight up, man, I am the light. You will walk in light. I will take away the darkness. So when we are in the darkness, it is temporary. Just know that. He's going to see us through it. Every time. Every single time. Have the faith. Because our Lord is faithful. Indeed. Let's keep praying. Stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.